Hello viewers, welcome back to another video, and today I am going to be jumping on a game I haven't played in about a year, which is WRC 10, the official WRC game before it was taken over by EA and essentially became an evolution of the Dirt series. Now this is a game I used to play all the time, and it's a game which I sort of feel like is a bit looked over. It's a bit slept on because it is genuinely, it's super fun. It's realistic enough to where you can know what the car is doing and you can get a sense of immersion, and it's super easy to just get into. So we're going to do a stage today in the Hyundai i20, and I'm going to show you why I believe this game doesn't get enough love. But let's get straight into it. Well, firstly, before we actually do a stage, I thought I would demonstrate a very cool feature about this game. So, WRC 10, sort of like in Dirt Rally and Dirt Rally 2.0, has a dirt fish sort of test area which you can drive around in. But for me, this test area in WRC 10 is 10 times better than the one on the Dirt games, and I'm going to show you why. I can chuck it into a hairpin here, get a quick drift going around through that hairpin, very nice, and it's just got a super versatile area. There goes that sign, up to 4th gear, 5th gear, and yeah, like you just get to, you know, test a bunch of different cars, power around the test area, and it's actually got some like fake stages that you can drive around in. I hit that wall. Oh, I hit that wall badly. But you can sort of see what I mean, right? Like you can essentially do everything you want in this test area before you go do an actual stage. That was the wrong gear, and that's off the side of a cliff. Nice. That's going to be a reset there. Perfect. But yeah, the other thing which you'll hear me talk about quite a lot in this game is the handling and the way the cars drift. Obviously, I don't have a handbrake, but I do have a handbrake button on my steering wheel. I just used it then, and you can see how sort of simple it is to control a huge drift on this game. It might not be the hardest game in the world, but it is, without a doubt, one of the most fun. And obviously, in the comments, I'm going to get a lot of attack from the Richard Burns Rally diehards. I'm kind of one of them, in a way. I suck at it though, but like genuinely, if you're just looking for a fun, easy to get into rally experience, then this really is the game for you. But now that we've had a little bit of a mess around in the test area, we are going to go do an actual stage. Oh, I think I broke it. Alright guys, so here we go. I've decided to go with the Rally Italia location for this one. Obviously I prefer my gravel rallying compared to my tarmac rallying, so I thought we'd do this. Playing as Thierry Neuville in the Hyundai i20 WRC, and let's just get straight into it. Let's just go. I don't need to mess around with the setup or anything. Got the countdown on in front of us, rev it up in neutral, and it's away we go. Good start there, and this is a stage with a few drop-offs and things, so you're going to have to be careful of that. Into the hairpin. Oh god, that was ugly. I just ran over that sign, but it's okay, we're going to keep going. I don't think we have any damage. Now, I should bear in mind that there are some odd handling quirks in this game. When I used to play this a few years ago, I didn't have a direct drive wheel. I had a belt-driven thrustmaster wheel. And in all honesty, the game doesn't feel great on the belt-driven. It feels absolutely amazing on my CSL DD, which is what I'm using right now, but it never really felt that good on the thrustmaster. So that is just a word of caution. If you are looking at buying this game, and you do have a belt-driven wheel, it isn't as good as the direct drive. It's all over the bumps, but that is sort of to be expected. But that was pretty good through there. We've already through one split, so really making progress as we head into the trees, and you can see how I'm constantly sliding the car. So easy to get it turned in. But you would expect that with these WRC cars over the jump. A little bit of handbrake on the way in, full correction on the steering wheel. That was pretty cool. To the left, and just listening to the co-driver, getting every bit of information that I can. As no, I'm dead. I'm dead. Okay. Might have to restart that one. That came out of nowhere. I did not expect that. Alright, so we're going to pretend that never happened. We're going to try this stage again. I just wasn't paying enough attention. But into the four, we sort of already know what to expect now with this. Handbrake on the way in. Yep, okay, got through there just about. Jesus, that was a bit close. But one of the good things about this game, and I guess a sort of direct comparison, because a lot of people would compare this to the EA WRC game, which came out a few years ago, or they would compare it to like Dirt Rally, which is understandable. But I guess one of the direct comparisons I want to make is the handbrake physics, because on EA WRC, I've always found like it's very tricky to be able to get the car rotated while using the handbrake. Like it sort of locks up and it goes straight on, and doesn't really work how a handbrake should. That's one of the only things I ever really struggled with on EA WRC. But with WRC 10, you know, you saw me use the handbrake there, as I'm gonna go off slightly. We're all good. But yeah, with WRC 10, I always feel like the handbrake is able to actually turn the car. There was a car stopped off on the right. That's also something you don't get on EA WRC, is you can get broken down cars on the stage. So through we go. That wasn't too bad. Over the jump, and we're going to use some handbrake there. See what I mean? Just a small dab of the handbrake button, and it just manages to kick it in. It's absolutely phenomenal, and I think it works how a handbrake should work. Obviously I can't comment too much because I don't have an actual handbrake. But I mean, I think it's pretty good. We're going to get a left 6, right 5. And apart from that, the one thing where this game does lack a little bit is in the tarmac physics. Obviously it does feel quite light. It grips how it should, which is good, but it can feel quite floaty on the tarmac. But we can look past that. I usually only do gravel rallying anyway. Accidentally pressed the pause button there instead of my headlights button, or my wipers button, sorry. It's trying to clear the dust off the windscreen. So here we go. And the other thing is, the lighting and the graphics in this game are very nice. You know, it's cartoony, it's simple, and it works well. It works well for what the game is trying to be, which is a rally game / rally simulator. We're going to get a jump. Oh no, no jump. It's down into the right hander. We're going to get the flat left into 3. And like you can see, I'm not trying too hard, but I can get around the stage. And I'm having a good time. And that is what most of these games are about, right? Obviously there is simulation values to be had, and they want to be as realistic as they can while being accessible, but it's fun, right? And I can chuck the car into corners, and you know, we can have a good time. And I think that is one of the things that's really important with any rally game. Also, it runs quite nicely. I have the odd stutter here and there, but I'm running it on quite high settings. I'll have to turn those down at some point. But like, it runs well, and I guess the biggest thing with this game is it's accessible. Like, when I bought this game, because I've only just bought it on my computer, it's like, it took me all of 2 minutes to get the settings right, and to just get up and play. So to have a game which is as accessible as that is, and a game which is fairly easy on controller, I think is a big success. But there we go. End of the stage. Okay, well, because I enjoyed that one so much, I thought, you know what, let's boot up and do one more. We're going to have a wet surface for this. This is the final stage in the Rally Finland set of stages, special stages. So we're going to get going, but I guess this wet surface is going to be the hardest thing to get used to. It's a mixture of tarmac and dirt, but down into the first corner, and you can see the way it was light going in. A little bit of a Scandinavian flip, and out we go. 3rd gear, 4th gear, rising over the crest. It goes to the left a bit. hard on the brakes. Second gear. Round we go. That was pretty nice. And now we're going to get some of the dirt, and it's very light into the loose surface, into the left-hander. This was one of the tightest stages in the game, and one of my favourites. I absolutely adore this stage. Dropping down the hill, and over the crest into the dip, into the fall, but I was cautious with that, using that shifter and getting it turned in to the puddle. We're going to go left. Now we're going to push it floor it, down towards the square. A little bit of hand brake to get it turned in, and planting it again into a left 2, using some of that curb to get it. That was absolutely perfect. Now where are we going? Right, and then left. A little bit of a chicane. That was pretty perfect. Not too bad. Oh, that's a very tight chicane there, but we got through it, and now power. We've got another chicane coming up. Hard on the brakes. Right, left, and then right again. Maybe a little bit slower than I would have liked, but not too bad. And then we're going to get a square right into a square left, and then power to the line over that curb, and there you go. A 1 minute 37.7. That was a phenomenal run. They're really happy with that. But yeah, there we have it. What a phenomenal rally game. Well, there we have it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another video. That was an absolute blast. So glad I managed to pick up this game again. Yeah, like seriously, if you guys want a fun, accessible, easy to get the grips of rally game, for not much money, please look no further than WRC 10. I know this game is a few years old now. I think it came out in about 2020, but it just doesn't matter, because this game is just phenomenal in every aspect. So it's definitely a recommended. And to answer the question, the title of the video, is WRC 10 overlooked, overshadowed, and kind of forgotten about? Yeah, I think it is. I think this game doesn't get the love that it sort of deserves, really, because it does everything right. It, you know, it provides a good experience for not much cost, and is very accessible to everybody who wants to play it. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Have an awesome day. I'm going to see you in the next video, which will be the SRW streams on Wednesday and Thursday, and then I will be releasing my top 10 favourite iRacing cars on Friday or Saturday, most likely. So stay tuned for those coming later in the week. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, have an awesome day, make good choices. We're going to see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.